Hi there YouTube, how you doing today? This is Dollface here on Missed Bandwagon. Thanks for stopping by my channel, I appreciate it. Today I wanted to talk to you about a book that I recently read. It's called A Quiet Storm by Rachel Howzell Hall, and I can honestly say that I thoroughly enjoyed this book from beginning to end. I didn't think that I would like it because I honestly don't really have an affinity to African American authors. Their style, not all of them of course, but a lot of their style is geared towards oppression, struggle, and crime and poverty and people growing up in just bad situations. And I understand that a lot of African American authors are speaking from a place of personal experience, but I just feel that now it's time to really rise above that. Black people are just more than their struggle. They are much more than their oppression. They are much more than their stereotypes. But this is a very good read, and I implore that you read this, especially if you want to have a discussion piece about mental health in the Black community. So one of the reasons why I like this book so much is because it's from the perspective of not the person who actually has the mental illness, but the person related to her. You may think, well, I want to hear about the person's struggle and her issues and how she handles her problems. No one ever talks about how it affects the people closest to them, and not just the people who are just like, oh, I wish I would have known, I would have helped, but the people who are like really knee deep in the mess with you. You know, the people who can feel you having an anxiety attack, know you're triggered when you're about to have a moment or an episode. It not just deals with Stacy's problems with her sister's depression, but how she's taken a back seat in her whole entire family and how her needs aren't met because of this problem that she has. It reminds me of My Sister's Keeper. I love that book, how the needs, whether they're physical or mental, take over the needs and wants of another sibling, and one person becomes that person's keeper. You don't necessarily have to be related to someone. If you're a really good friend, or if you're, really close to someone and you really want to take care of them and make sure that they're doing mentally well, then you're gonna get really attached and ingrained in their situation. But you have to realize that as an individual, you can only do so much. When you have a toothache, you don't go to someone and say, I have a toothache, what do? You go to your dentist. Having trouble breathing, you go to the doctors. So if you're having like mental problems and you're having situations, if you're having issues that go beyond the scope of someone's care and someone's ability to help, you need to go to a therapist. Yes, people need to be more empathetic and people need to be more sympathetic to people's plights and problems and stresses, because we all have things that we go through and we could all use a helping hand. However, not everyone is the same. If you go to one person, they may go through the ringer with you. They may go through hell and back to make sure that you're okay. And some people aren't equipped to deal with that, and that's okay. We're not all the same, but there are therapists and psychiatrists. There are people who are licensed and trained to help you. A lot of us think that we really give good advice, but we actually don't. We're actually pretty biased in the advice that we give. So it's important that we go to licensed therapists who can provide an unbiased, medically professional opinion on the path and course that you should help with your life direction and help you heal from the inside, even if that includes medication, which was one of the topics included in this book. In the Black community, you don't have problems like depression and bipolar. You don't have anything going wrong up here. You pray on it. You pray on it, you take it to God, and you leave it there, as the saying goes. So to hear about things like lithium and all kinds of like psychiatric drugs and psychopathology, it's really foreign. We have to let people know that it's okay to use psychiatric drugs to balance themselves, because a lot of people do have chemical imbalances. If you have heartburn, you take an antacid. So there's something wrong with your head. Why can't you take a pill for that? Why can't you take something that will help you become normal and regular so that you feel as though you can function well in society, along with conductive, positive, reinforcing therapy? And those things, when they're not talked about in certain environments, whether in certain families or certain communities, it creates, basically you're taking away a source of treatment and a source of help that a lot of people can benefit from. And this is a really good book that explores that. You can be a supportive foundation and a rock But then you have to know when to say, now it's affecting my mental health because now I'm worried about what's going to happen to you if I'm not there. And you can't live your life like that. You can tell someone that, yes, I will be here for you, but I cannot be your only source of support. I understand that with, like, maybe if you're married, then your partner could be like your main support, but they can't be your only support. So I think that by reading this book, you get a real understanding of what these people are going through and the trauma that it causes the people around them. I'm going to do a more in-depth review on goodreads.com. Feel free to follow me. I'm going to leave all my information in the description and in the end card at the end. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more reviews like this, please like and subscribe and ring the bell for more notifications. Bye!